Hey Scott. Hey Scott, what's up, buddy? Um, I just want to give you a little intro to the chords that I gave you and how to play them. Um, it's very easy to play, and I'll show you how to play each one of them. There's like 5 or 6 of them that if you can play, there's a bunch of music that you can play. Um, we'll see if this video works because the last one I made crashed. Um, but when I tell you which finger and fret to play and note to play, I'll refer to them as numbers. So with your fingers, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I tell you first finger on the first fret, you're going to be your index finger, and then so on, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then strumming's just like drumming. You're just going to keep rhythm with the song, and it's easy to practice that by playing along to other songs. On the guitar, these are the frets. So this is fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forth. And you don't normally play anything higher than that. It sounds like a mandolin if you play it any higher than that. But for the chords that I showed you, most songs outside playing with a capo, and here's my capo. This is just, it's almost like an extra hand that, if the song tells you to play, capo 3, you put it on the 3rd fret. So 1, 2, 3, you put it on the 3rd fret, and you put it close to that fret bar, and you'll hear it like it should have a clean sound and ring out and not like buzz or make some funky noises. If it's too close, it'll do that sometimes. If it's too far, if it's up here, that's not really the 3rd fret, So you want to come down in between where it sounds good, but closer to the bottom of the fret. And by playing that, a lot of songs, like they're in B's or an F or some funky chords. And what this does, the capo, it allows you to move these notes that you're playing up here. You can play a C here, and it's a regular C. But if the song's in B, by moving that fret, it's going to change all the notes. So you could play a C here, and it's going to be the same note as up here, but you're actually going to be playing a B. It's going to sound like a B. So it's great to get a capo. Get a clip-on one. When you're not using it, you just clip it on the headstock up here. And they make clip-on tuners and stuff like that you can use to tune the guitar. But again, the fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4, the frets starting at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. The strings, this is a 6-string, so the top string is going to be 1, second string will be 2, third string 3, 4, and so on, from the top down. Okay, so when I say like play an E minor, an E minor is your first finger on the 2nd fret, 2nd string. So just one finger right there. Okay, but then you're going to take your 2nd finger and you're going to go 2nd fret, 3rd string. And then when you strum, you're going to strum just like the top 3 strings. That's one of the easiest chords to play, is an E minor. And very simple, 2 fingers. It doesn't get any easier than that. The other chords are within the same frets, so you don't have to move your fingers very far, but that's something that you'll have to work on, is moving your fingers from one position to play one chord to play the next. So the next one I'll show you is C. Now a regular C is actually played like from the 1st fret, and your fingers come up like this, but that's kind of a stretch. So there's a cheat that's actually closer to an E minor. It's a C cad, and so, but it's still a C, but it's a different type of C, but it's a more full sounding C. So rather than having to stretch all the way across the guitar, it's easier. There's an easy one that's right by the E minor. So you're going to take your first finger and you're going to put that on the 2nd fret, 3rd string down. Your 2nd finger is going to go on the 3rd fret, the 2nd string. So it's actually going to be just slightly above your index finger, and then your third finger is actually going to be on the 3rd fret on the 5th string at the bottom, okay, and you still got your pinky here. And I'll show you something with that. Like just with these 3 fingers though, you could strum, and that's a C. By adding the 4th finger to the 3rd fret on the 6th string on the bottom, it rings out a little more. That's something that you kind of play with after a while, and you can kind of it just sounds a little fuller, and you can kind of change things up as you're playing. So you take your pinky back off, and with these fingers where they are, leave your 3rd finger on the bottom. You're going to take off the top 2, and you're just going to move them up 1 string each. So your index finger is going to be 2nd fret 2nd string, and your 2nd finger is going to be 3rd fret 1st string at the top. So this is a C down here. It's tough to see with the camera, but a C is here, and then a G is here. So a G is just slightly above, and then when you strum the entire guitar, that's a G. Then you can put your pinky on the bottom string again, and it changes the tone just a little bit. So I just jumped right down to the C. So E minor's right here, the C is right here, the G is right there, and these bottom fingers pretty much stay the same. One of the other chords that I showed you was a D, and a D is played as the higher strings on the bottom, but still in the same fret, the 2nd fret. So on the 2nd fret, you're going to take your index finger and your 1st finger, and you're going to put it on the 4th string down. Your 2nd finger or middle finger is going to go on the same fret, 2nd fret, on the very bottom string. And then your 3rd finger is going to go on the 3rd fret in between the 2. It's going to be on the 5th string. So you're kind of splitting the difference with that. Again, here's the pinky, okay? So this is the D. Now when you're strumming the D, you're going to just strum the lower strings, the lower 3 or 4 strings. So that's a D. A D minor is actually just by adding that pinky to the 3rd fret, just underneath your 3rd finger. And this is what you'll hear the difference, okay? This is a D. And those are like the first ones that I learned that are like, close to each other that you can play. And usually when you're playing a lot of songs, if it's in G, you're going to be playing a C, an E minor, a D. Sometimes I was throwing F in there, and there's an actual cheat for an F too, which is if you play the C that I showed you, okay, which is the 1st finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your 2nd finger, 3rd fret, 2nd string, and your 3rd finger is on the 3rd fret on the 5th string, and then you can leave that 3rd finger on and move the top 2 down 1 more. And it helps if you put your pinky on to make it a fuller sound, but so just underneath, like you got G, C, and F is like right underneath it, still right within this, because sometimes the songs they'll throw in a funky little, a key change, and just like throwing an F or something like that. A couple of others are like an A is actually your 1st finger, 2nd fret, 2nd string. Your 3rd finger goes right underneath that. And your 2nd finger, your 3rd finger goes right under that. So like 3 strings right in a row within the 2nd fret. That's an A. And you would strum from the 2nd string down. That's an A. So, and another chord that that A actually looks like an E minor, but with your 3rd finger underneath it. So So it's just like 3 right in a row. Okay, all within the same fret. So E minor's here, you add one more finger underneath it, and you got an A. If you, an A sus, which a lot of music will play that, and that's actually even easier to play than an A. So you take your 2 fingers that are on the E minor, and if you bump them down, just each down 1 string, that's an A sus. Okay, and that one's pretty easy to play too. And then there's 2 others that, I mean, I would just start with the E minor, the C, the G, the D. If you can play those, then you can add like the F and the A sus. There is the E minor, when you actually add, if you play the E minor, so you play but you take your index finger and it would go on the 1st fret. It would be the 4th string down, and then you would take your 2nd finger and you would put it 2nd fret, 2nd string, and then 3rd finger would be 2nd fret, 3rd string down, and that's an E. Okay, that's an E. If you move everything, if you just take those 3 fingers and move them down 1, it's an A minor. I'm probably driving you nuts because you're probably like, what the hell is he talking about? But you'll see how close they actually are. And if you look at the chord charts, you'll see how easy it is and to play these chords and keep your fingers that close. When you see guys playing guitar and they're all over the neck of the guitar, that's awesome when you learn it. But for, starting out, you're only playing in the first, 3 or 4 frets, unless you have a capo and you're playing in a higher register. So that's about it for now. Get yourself a tuner. This thing's pretty neat. This is like a clip-on one I got at the guitar shop. And as you play each string, it'll tell you. It's tough to see on that, but when it's clipped on the guitar, it'll ring out, you'll see, and it'll tell you how to center each note and keep the guitar in tune. So, and that's another thing that you'll have to learn is how to tune the guitar. So you always start with the top string and work your way down 1 string at a time. And once you learn that, then you're good to go. And it's good to have a tuner because tuning it by ear is kind of a pain in the butt. So there's other ways. There's apps for your phone and stuff like that. You can put a guitar tuner and it'll pick up an acoustic guitar. It won't pick up an electric, but it'll pick up an acoustic. So get yourself a tuner if you don't have one already. There's many different kinds. The clip-on type are great because you can leave it right on the guitar. You don't have to search for it. If you're playing somewhere, you can just turn the thing on and tune it right there. And again, on the other video that I tried to make before my computer crashed, I was talking about strumming and like playing along with a song. And the only way I can describe the rhythm part of what you're actually strumming is just like drumming. You're going to hear a song and you're just going to play rhythm to it like you were playing along with the drums, but with the guitar. So if you got rhythm enough to play drums, you got rhythm enough to play guitar. So, and then you'll just have to figure out what sounds good as far as what you're strumming, like a strum pattern, up, down, down, up, or down, down, up, whatever it is. But you'll be able to hear that by, playing to an iPad, an iPhone, or MP3 or whatever it is you have, that you're playing along to. Put an earbud in and listen to, only put one in so you can hear your guitar, and make sure it's in the. You want to make sure it's in the same key that your music is in. So if you go to Ultimate Guitar, when you're looking at for music, there's a tab on the top that says, there's one like that you can pay for and stuff, but there's one on there that says listen to this, and then it takes you to Django or something like that, and it'll actually play the song. That's usually what I do when I'm learning a song, is I'll pull up the music on my computer and I'll play along reading the music off of reading the chords off of the computer and have that playing in the background, and just plug my headphone in and stick it in one ear so I can hear my guitar as I'm playing along. And you'll know right away if if you're playing in the same key that the song is in. And a lot of times you have to read the music on the top because it'll say like Capo 3 or something like that. If it says Capo, it's tough to play without one. So you may want to pick one up. I think they're like $15 or something like that. Some of the better ones are more, but get yourself a capo, especially when you're learning. It can be your friend. I drive the other musicians in the band nuts because I'm forever capoing my guitar, but it helps me play a lot of the harder chords that normally I wouldn't play. I just don't have time to really learn all those, and I guess I do now when I'm not working. I should be working on that. But there's like bar chords and stuff like that to where you got to put your finger across and play. One of the harder ones that I struggle with is a B, and because this finger has to hold all the strings while 3 other fingers are down here. But with a capo, I can play a C and it's a B. It's the same thing. So get yourself a capo. I'm gonna throw together a couple of songs, see how they sound, and try to send them to you. And there's one that I just learned not that long ago. It's by Cutlass, and it's called Sea of Faces. It's in the key of G. If you look it up on Ultimate Guitar, it says Sea of Faces by Cutlass, and it says version 3, and you want the chords, not the tabs. Tabs are like playing lead, you're playing all that stuff. When you're playing rhythm, you're actually playing the chords. You're just laying down the rhythm for just like the drums, and then the electric and all that can take care of the other stuff. But I'm gonna try that song, and I got like 1 or 2 others that I'll try out. And I don't know how it's going to sound on this thing, so bear with me. But maybe we can Skype or something like that and figure some things out. But for starters, just try this and see how you how you feeling, and just let me know what it is that you need, I guess. Some of the things, like when you're reading the actual music, a lot of times on Ultimate Guitar, they don't have the chord that you're playing. Like in the beginning of the song, it says intro, and then it has like 4 different chords that you're gonna play, and it may say like ×2, so you're gonna play that 2 times before the song starts. But in the beginning of the song, the first chord that you're gonna play is a G, and it's over the first word in the song, so that's where you're playing that chord. Where you're playing the next chord is normally that word where you see the next one. So you're going to keep playing the G until you get to the part in that word, the word in the song with the C over it, and then you'd be playing a C or an E minor or whatever it is, and you'd have to figure out the strum pattern of what you're playing. But you're going to keep playing that note until the music tells you otherwise to play something else. So. But like I said, sometimes these tabs are put in by different people, and it's not always by the group. So a lot of times you'll hear it and you'll play along, and you may pick out in the music, you're like, that don't sound like, it sounds like either the wrong key. Sometimes they have a wrong key in there. Other times they put the chord change over the wrong word in the song. So it really doesn't change to the C until further along in that, phrasing of like the first line of the song or whatever, if you get me. But you'll see as you're going along. But just don't go nuts thinking it's something that you're doing, because a lot of times, just this kid's doing this. People do it, and they can be wrong. So, or some songs are just totally wrong. So you're not always going to have it in the chord in the key that you wanted it. So just be aware of that when you're pulling music too. Chordy is another one where you can download and print your music and stuff like that. So just check this video out. Let me know what your thoughts are on it, and I'm going to try to do a couple of songs and send them along to you. Okay? And we'll chat with you later. Alright, thanks, buddy. We'll see you. Bye.